Hello and welcome to Eevee and Snorlax Tag Team GX. So, what's this guy do? Well, there's two attacks that we're really interested in. The first one for 4 colorless energy, 120 base damage, dump truck press. But if your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, hits for 240. Just smashing through those evolution Pokemon. And its GX attack here has a base of 210 for 4 colorless energies. But if you've got 1 extra energy attached to that for a total of 5, well, you get to draw until you have 10 cards in hand. Something that's really important with this deck, and something I forget about in one of these matches, because we're running a very unusual trainer line. We're not running really any draw supporters. We've got 2 Tate Lizas, and that's about it. So how do we get this thing rolling then? Well, this deck's all about the turn 1 Kiawe. It's so crucial we get off that turn 1 Kiawe. So to help us do that, we've got Tapu Lele to go and chase out our Kiawe if we don't have it in hand. We've got Mysterious Treasures to go and chase out Tapu Lele's. We've got Ultra Balls to go and chase out Tapu Lele's. We've got Acro Bikes to try and speed through the deck to try and, chase out our Kiawe. Or our Tapu Lele's to get a Kiawe, to try and get this Kiawe off to begin the match, to get 4 energy cards to your Eevee and Snorlax. Then, ideally probably on turn 2, you're probably smashing with Megaton friends. So that way you can draw till you've got a hand of 10 and then you're set for the rest of the game. And that's what this deck's really about. Get set up turn 1, just start smashing from turn 2 onwards. So what other attackers do we have here? Well, we've got a Charizard here too, for a nice non-GX 1 prize attacker, but can hit really big if we need him to. Plus, he's self-reliant, he can get himself going with Roaring Resolve. Continuous Blaze Ball, 30 base damage, but does 50 more for every fire energy that you discard. Keep in mind, you have to discard them all when you use this attack. But really nice for getting off a really big attack if you've got a big hefty Pokemon you need to take down, especially for a 1 prize attacker. Plus, we've got an Onix here. He's really here because of his typing. He can take one-shots on Pikachu Zekroms with his Land Crush. Really nice indeed because of his typing being weak to the Pikachu Zekrom. So he's important as well. So that's the main attackers of the deck, and that's really how the deck rolls. The rest of it here is just, Guzmas to bring stuff off the bench, Acerolas to try and protect your Eevee and Snorlaxes from going down. But the other main thing, I guess, is Wishful Batons. We want to be trying to save as many fire energies as we go. This helps us do so if we get knocked out by an attack, saving 3 basic energies from that. So, that's the deck. That's how it works. Shall we begin? I think we shall. Hello, Nikudon, and welcome to Eevee and Snorlax. Although you'll look at my first mulligan and probably thinking I'm running a Charizard build. Whatever I'm running, it's not going well. Marshadow up front, so it's less than ideal. I don't need a lot to go well. Get the Mysterious Treasure. So at least what I can do is I can Ultra Ball away the Charmeleon and a Fire Energy. Go and get me an Eevee and Snorlax. Chuck that down. Mysterious Treasure. Honestly, the Acerola. Let's get rid of you as much as I don't want to. And we'll go get a Tapu Lele. I just need to be able to get a Fiery Flint off. It's so crucial. A Fiery Flint, a Kiawe. Chuck Fire Energy onto the Eevee and Snorlax. Kiawe. Don't worry about next turn now. See what my opponent has. So I can get into the active with Eevee and Snorlax by burning my DCE or one of my DCEs at worst. Now, I'm assuming my opponent was pretty bricked because he started with the Tapu Lele down front. A little bit like me, I started with a Marshadow down front, so it was less than ideal. It's got a Mysterious Treasure now. Get rid of the Dragonite. It's going to be a Dragonite deck. Alright. For Tapu Lele, yeah, so he was completely bricked up. It's going to Steven the Resolve. So he must have what he wants otherwise. But it is kind of interesting. So he's preparing to attack with the Tapu Lele that's behind. And that could hit quite hard with 5 energies on. 6, 7, 8, that's 140. That hurts, especially that I've got my Acerola back. So if I can somehow manage to pull off a Guzma here, that would be ideal. There's no way I'm pulling off a Guzma. All I'm going to be able to do is retreat out here, do the Eevee and Snorlax, and use my Megaton friends, get 2 prize cards. So go ahead there, draw up to 10 cards. That is good for me. Take 2 prize cards and then see what I'm playing after that. So I have plenty of options now. I do have to work out how I'm getting my next attacker up and who my next attacker is actually going to be. Because that's quite important. I mean, do I try and set up a Charizard since I've got a Charmander here? Do I... So the Wishful Baton is going to be really important. Oh, it's a Rayquaza deck. Ah, it's interesting. This Tapu Lele is going to hurt. And I don't think there's any way I'm saving this Eevee and Snorlax. So Rayquaza build, that's interesting. And he's able to, wow, play the Morgan. That's huge. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Wishful Baton down. What do I do now? Can't Acerola, which is a problem. I mean, Guzmas are useless to me. Set up an Eevee and Snorlax, set up a Charmander. He's only got 1 card that's left, so that's good. The big issue is I need a rare candy so bad. So very, very bad. I've got the Fire Engine in hand to attach the Eevee and Snorlax. I mean, I could look at an Onix attacker, which can just hit for a flat 120. That might be a play. We'll see what I get after this. I feel like I need to keep everything else at the moment. So I'm sacrificing the Eevee and Snorlax. Nothing I can do about it to save you. So dump truck press. Get this Rayquaza down. Like hit it for 120. Hope my opponent's at least a little bit bricked after this. It was a fantastic turn from my opponent. And being able to execute that, you know, discarding of the Evelyn, Dana, and Nita to execute the Morgan. Absolute clutch. So he's going to Rescue Stretcher. Chuck him into the deck. Alright. And a Grass Energy down. So right now I've got to think about who do I want to be my next attacker. And honestly, I'm thinking it's Onix. Because Onix is just a 1 prize. But Onix is easier to one-shot as well from this Shaman. Let's chuck on Eevee and Snorlax rather than Onix. Just feel a little bit safer going that way about it. Got the rare candy too. Well, if I knew I was going to get that. And what I could do is actually just switch and take this prize with the Charizard instead. But then I need to switch back on the next turn, so maybe not. I think just hold on to the cards that I've got. I mean, Wishful Baton on you is useless. Because if you go down, you go down. We'll dump truck press. Get rid of this Rayquaza. See what my opponent can pull off next. So let's go on the Tapu Lele route. I mean, that's who I want out here. Is the Tapu Lele. Don't want the Shaman out here. So he's got another Rayquaza. I don't think he's going to be able to get the Rayquaza up and attacking this turn. And the Charizard needs 3 NGs to be able to take out this Tapu Lele. And he can go and get them easily enough, and I can switch out. So right now, unless my opponent pulls off something I'm not expecting, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to take out this Tapu Lele on the next play. So what's he going to pull in? A Guzma. So who's he going to try and Guzma up? That's going to be interesting. The Charizard maybe? Yeah, the Charizard's a good move. The Charizard's a good move. Because he should be able to one-shot the Eevee and Snorlax after that. Annoying. And I'm two-shotting. Well, he might not be able to one-shot it, but I'm going to need to be able to get another Charizard up. That's going to be super important. So what am I doing here? I'm getting rid of the Wishful Baton and the Wishful Baton. Let's go and get me... Oh, I don't even have any Charmanders. Well, that's a bit of an issue. Let's go and get me a Tapu Lele. Why not? I doubt there's going to be any one prize Pokemon coming after this. Well, Dump truck press. Take this Shaman out. There's the Charmander. A little bit too late, buddy. A little bit too late. So this Tapu Lele hurts. That's the problem that I've got. This Tapu Lele hurts. Just gonna NG drive. It's 120. He's one NG card away. It's 4. So Charmander down. I think we just dump truck press and see what my opponent does. I mean, he didn't seem to have anything from his hand to use. So I'm hoping he's bricked still. Because 120 is not enough. And he's going to pull out the Rayquaza. He's going to Tempest. Okay, fair move, fair move. But what I now do is I go and Viridian Forest now. Get rid of the Eevee Snorlax. Go pull in a Fire NG. Chuck the Fire NG on something like a Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele down. Yep, go get a supporter card. Go get the Guzma. Guzma up the Tapu Lele that's in the back line. To this Tapu Lele. And retreat out to the Eevee and Snorlax. And that is game. Dump truck press. Alright, that combo worked nicely just at the end there. Can't believe he managed to pull that, you know, check your top 12 cards and attach every NG. That was good. That was good. Hello, Acerola, and welcome. Charmander up front. Not what I want to see. But should hopefully be able to get out of this with the first hand. And still set myself up. So should be okay. Should be able to work around this. Would prefer to be going first though. But the RNG seems to have something against me going first at the moment. Not sure why. So if I can get rid of this Xerneas, it'd be really good. Damage spread. Okay. Wishful Batons. Nothing great. Do have to go and get myself something, so I think we'll use the Ultra Ball to get rid of the Charizard. And the Ultra Ball here. To go and net myself a Eevee and Snorlax so I can get that down. And what we'll do here, got the Guzma for the next turn. So we'll Tapu Lele and go and get that Kiawe. And I'm thinking I don't want to play the fire down, NG down to anyone. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll Kiawe, we'll finish here. I won't even play the Wishful Baton for the moment. I should, but it's too late for that. We'll go all the NGs onto the Eevee and Snorlax and we'll see what my opponent does. So I'm assuming she'll want to be getting that Xerneas out of the active now. Which I can go and drag it back into the active if she does. So ideally for me, I'd love for her to get the Xerneas out of the active. Through a manual retreat, that'd be ideal. Then I'll just go and get the Xerneas back. Because that's the big hitter. Hits for 160. I mean, it's not one-shotting an Eevee and Snorlax, but it's better than... Yeah, better to bring that up, I feel. And use my GX attack on it, because that's what I'm going to need to use to KO that in one shot with the Eevee and Snorlax. Otherwise, I'm probably more looking at... Okay, Tapu Lele up front. I'm happy with that. That's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. If I can get myself into a Marshadow, that'd be really nice. So yeah, Guzmaing up the Xerneas and going with my GX move. Top deck a Marshadow, and that just tops it all off. Don't think it really matters what type of Weavile it is, because I don't have too many ability Pokemon. I mean, obviously the Tapu Lele. Oh, if I chuck a Marshadow out there, well then that could start to become a bit of an issue. Shuckle. Okay. I'm a heavy NG attacker, so a Shuckle doesn't bother me so much. What I'm thinking here is chuck the Fire NG onto the Charmander for the moment. We'll Guzma up the Xerneas. Oh no, hang on, I wanted to use my GX attack. Playing well, aren't I? Playing well, aren't I? GX attack, I don't get the draws that I need, but it's what I've got to do. Get rid of the Xerneas, and I am playing really smart. Playing really smart. I even said it, like Fire NG onto the Eevee and Snorlax, is what I need to do, and then Guzma up, use the GX attack. I am playing well. I am playing well. Having a good day. Having a good day. Alright. So, it looks like I'm just going to have to play this with minimal cards. Don't have much draw. I mean, I can get myself... So what Weavile is it first? 60 damage to anything that has an ability. Alright. So I'm going to be careful about playing too many Tapu Leles and stuff. A Tate Liza could get me out of trouble a bit, so I can get some draw out of that. Glad I've put those Tate Lizas into the deck. So that's another out. At least the Eevee and Snorlax right now can just sit here and smash. And with the damage spread variation, it's going to take a little bit for him to take out the Eevee and Snorlax. And the Alolan Vulpix up front, that does not worry me too much. The Shuckle coming. I mean, that could be annoying. Being triple poisoned. A field blower. Alright, so I need myself another Wishful Baton at some stage. Beaconing up. See, now I've just got the issue of being draw blocked. And it's my own stupid fault. Made this matchup a lot harder for myself than it could have potentially been. Alright. Save line. And Tapu Lele. Keep in mind that if he uses the Weavile, he's hitting his own card there. So that's interesting. No point having too many... Yeah, have a Fire NG? Yeah, have a Fire NG. Have a Fire NG, why not? And we'll dump truck press. Hopefully finding myself into something good. A DCE. The Shuckle is going to be more annoying because I'm two-shotting as well. I'm potentially going to have to take like 120 damage. to the Eevee and Snorlax. 30 per turn for 3 turns. Wow, I made this much harder for myself than it should have been. I could be rolling right now. Could be rolling. So, still hoping to probably top deck a... Although, what is he doing? Stopping the dump truck press. That's interesting. That's very interesting. That's very annoying. Tate Liza switch will do the trick though. How many energies do I need in you as well? Is on both Pokemon? Can't remember. Both active. So a DCE, Tate Liza switch rather than a retreat. I think is the way that we're going to play. So I know I'm leaving myself blocked still. But we're going to switch here to the Tapu Lele. And we'll just take out the Sableye with the Tapu Lele. Get rid of you because you are a nuisance. Got a Rescue Stretcher. Yeah, that one was better played. But I am in that annoying situation right now where I could be rolling and have a lot of counters to a lot of things. So what's my opponent going to bring out now? I'm surprised the Shuckle hasn't come down. And the Shuckle down now, like, I'm nearly willing to sacrifice the Tapu Lele. That's something I'm really nearly ready to sacrifice. Is he going to go and get another Sableye? Nah, a Mimikyu. To snuggle and fall. To try and land a big attack on the Eevee and Snorlax that way. $60 damage on it. Like, that could be a big problem for me. 6-3 is 180. 190. It's 190 right now. I think what I've got to do is just bring you up right away. Got Charizard sitting in the... So I think I now retreat, bring the Eevee and Snorlax up. Which then he'll be using a Shuckle in the next turn. And then KOing it with the Mimikyu. Wow, I need some 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I mean, a Fire Energy on here, 4, 5, 6, it's 120. Takes out the Tapu Koko. And I think that's actually how I play it for the moment. I mean, you're going to be KO'd if he's got a Guzma. We'll see if he's got that Guzma. At least I'm within 2 prize cards now. And I've got a way to finally refresh this hand. So he's got the free retreat, so he's got choices on what he does. As she does. $190, $250. I mean, needs a choice band still. At least it's not going to be a Guzma play. Going to poison the Tapu Lele. Or is he going to use his GX attack and paralyze? Yeah, paralyze. Well played. Well played. But I've got the switch again. If I switch, what's coming? I think I switch in Marshadow. That's how we play this. So let's switch again to the Eevee and Snorlax. I am worried about this thing getting one-shotted a lot. But we get rid of right now. How many fire energies have I discarded? One. Let's just get rid of the fire energy. And go and get a Marshadow out. And now we will go with a Let Loose. I know that's potentially going to help my opponent. But I've got Wishful Batons, so that's good. Got a rare Candies, that might be an option. So Wishful Baton down. Chuck another Eevee and Snorlax out here. The problem is I'm not going to be able to one-shot that Mimikyu. Would have going to get a Guzma been better? Possibly. Oh well, I don't have any other choice but to dump truck press. Put pressure on this Shuckle. See what my opponent plays from there. The Mimikyu with the choice bands got me. Because it's hitting for 190 right now, which is 250 with the Eevee and Snorlax. Damage total. Whatever she does, she's got to get this Shuckle out of the active, so that will be coming. She's used a Field Blower, so I wonder how many Field Blowers she's running. Go on DC to the Tapu Lele. That's an interesting call. I mean, a Rescue Stretcher or a way to get a Charizard would be really good. Gonna Acerola out of it. Yep, and hit in hard with the Eevee and Snorlax. And I nearly wouldn't mind Acerola myself. And then hit into the Tapu Lele, but then I'm a fair bit of setting myself up, so I have a serious problem now. All I can do is hit in and hope for the best. Dump truck press. Put pressure on this Mimikyu. I mean, the Mimikyu can... Her best option now would be to retreat out to the Tapu Lele. Finish me off with the Tapu Lele. I'll save all those energy cards. I move to probably the Eevee and Snorlax. Move them all to the Eevee and Snorlax, but probably put the Tapu Lele up front. And then still, like, a Charizard would be able to get me everything that I need. Interesting. Bring the Tapu Lele down. Shuckle comes back. Gonna take the KO with the Shuckle instead. Oh, wasn't anticipating that. But it means I don't save any of my NGs, so that's well played. But what I am... All I need is a way to get to that Charizard. And it's still game. So no NG saved. 3 prize cards for my opponent. Tapu Lele goes down. Oh, that's game. Really? Don't see myself a way out of this. Just completely bricked at the moment. And if I do go down here, it's just my own stupidity on that Fire NG play. So who does she attack with now? Does she go the Mimikyu and get the KO? At which point I'm just all out. Do you know what I should have done here? No, Acerola instead. Can you use Rule of Evil? So now I need a Guzma to win. I mean, this doesn't KO anything yet. Guzma is about my only hope. There's the Charizard. Does that get me there? Let's see what happens. So rare candy this one up to a Charizard. Wishful Baton you. There's no point Wishful Batoning onto this Charizard. We retreat out to the Charizard. 1 Fire NG. I've got to hope I've got these Fire NGs in the deck still. Got 2. Which does mean still not in a good position. But at least I get 1 more KO. I mean, I suppose it does give me another chance of potentially hitting the Guzma to try and do this. If he can get the Tapu Lele up with a counter NG, he's got the game, or she's got the game. So Let's Snuggle and full play would be interesting. The Let's Snuggle and full would be a mistake because I can use my Tapu Lele to get there. Hitting 60 is enough. If she tries setting up the Shuckle, it's better. So what I'm hoping for is some kind of Pokemon card. Just a Pokemon. I think. To try and get the Guzma. Or a Guzma. That's the other thing. Ultra Ball. Mysterious Treasure. I mean, there's a few outs here. I'm interested to see who she attacks with. I mean, what she's probably assuming is I'm able to use Roaring Resolve on this particular turn. Who do I put up? Marshadow? I mean, getting him out of the active is going to be hard. Let's bluff a Marshadow. Although, I'm after the Guzma play, aren't I? So I'm saying bluffing a Marshadow going, yeah, take the Marshadow, I'm fine with that. Alright, so Shuckle's up front. I'll still need the Guzma, I mean, that's the only hope I've got. So the Marshadow goes down now. So Charizard goes back up front, and I need a Guzma. It's my only hope to win this. Like, do we go and have a look at how many cards I could have drawn into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even that. 6, 7, 8. Oh no, that wouldn't have helped me. 8, 9. Maybe even that. 10, 11. One of 11 cards. Any one of them would have helped me. It's game. Well played. My own stupidity though. That loss comes from my own stupidity. Don't really know what's taken her so long. She's got the win. Although technically she needs to get the Tapu Lele or even Snorlax down to get the win right now. Maybe that's the issue. Oh, I might have another opportunity. I do. You are kidding me, aren't you? I'm actually going to get out of this. I'm actually going to get out of this. I cannot believe I'm actually going to get out of this. I actually cannot believe I'm going to get out of this. I thought she had it. Thought she had me completely. Oh, wow. Don't make it so hard on yourself, Shaun. Don't make it so hard on yourself. Remember to put an extra fire energy on. Make that draw so much easier. How did I get out of that? How did I get out of that? That is how you make a really strong position in a game into a really bad position and make it struggle down. And it is time to rate this deck. So, what do I think? Well, starting with damage here, this is really matchup dependent to what kind of damage that you're really outputting. I mean, the Eevee and Snorlax just smashes through with dump truck press whenever you're dealing with evolution matchups. But if you're dealing with higher HP, non-evolution Pokemon, whether they're tag teams or not, we suddenly run into a lot of issues here. I mean, yes, we've got a Charizard to try and deal with one of them with maybe a continuous Blaze Ball, but we're not really set up to just keep smashing through with Charizards whatsoever. So, really matchup dependent. If you're playing evolution-based Pokemon, hey, we just smash through them like they're nothing. If you're not, well, then it becomes a bit more of an issue. So, for damage here, an 8 out of 10. For defense, well, I found that anytime you came up against a fighting deck, you just couldn't power through it. Once again, we're not really reliably set up to rely on these Charizards for an entire match. They're there for a couple of shots maybe, and that's it. So we need our Eevee and Snorlax to be able to smash through Pokemon. Particularly Buzzwole just killed this deck. Absolutely destroyed it. but otherwise the defense tends to hold on fairly well. So yeah, once again, matchup dependent, an 8 out of 10 for me. Reliability, hey, I had no issues ever getting a Kiawe turn 1. Even in some of the hands that I looked at and went, oh wow, this is not a good start, still somehow found a way to get into a turn 1 Kiawe. Pretty reliable to get that turn 1 Kiawe and get up and rolling to start smashing from turn 2 onwards. So reliability in that regards, really, really good. But reliability in being able to smash through Pokemon depend on what your opponents are playing. I mean, there's lots of, relatively high HP, definitely above 120, that are basics that you just can't smash through reliably with this deck for an entire match. So that is a bit of an issue. This, for me, is an 8 out of 10, and overall, I'm still giving it an 8 out of 10. It's one of those decks that, hey, you get the right matchup, they've got no hope. You'll just smash them from start to finish and the game will be over and you'll just be sitting there chuckling. But then there'll be other matchups that you just don't have a chance. They will smash through you. Doesn't matter really what we sort of try to stop it with this deck. So in this current build anyway, I mean, you can play with it, but that's where it's sort of at. Smashes through some, doesn't smash through others. Not very often it has a close game.